It was a chilly evening when Sophie Carter, a hardworking waitress at Maggie's diner, noticed a little girl sitting alone at a table. The girl's bright blue eyes sparkled with curiosity, but her tiny hands clutched the edges of her seat as if she wasn't used to being in such places. Sophie, always believing that kindness didn't cost a thing, grabbed a plate and made a warm grilled cheese sandwich with a small bowl of tomato soup, the perfect comfort meal. With a warm smile, she walked over. "Here you go, sweetheart. This one's on me," she said, placing the food in front of the girl. The little girl's face lit up. "Really?" Sophie nodded, tucking a napkin onto her lap. "Enjoy, honey." Unbeknownst to her, someone was watching from outside. Olivia Reynolds, a powerful businesswoman, stood by her sleek black car, staring through the diner window. Her heart clenched as she saw Sophie kneeling beside her daughter, Lily, feeding her with warmth and care. No one had ever treated Lily this way before. At that moment, Olivia made a decision: this woman needed to be tested. Sophie had no idea, but her simple act of kindness was about to change her life forever. Sophie had no idea that her simple act of kindness would lead to something life-changing. The next morning, as she arrived at Maggie's diner, she noticed a sleek black car parked right outside. It wasn't a regular customer's car. Something about it felt important. As she walked inside, her boss, Mr. Grayson, waved her over. "Sophie, someone's here to see you," he said, his voice unusually serious. Sitting at a corner booth was Olivia Reynolds, dressed in an expensive navy blue suit. She looked up, her piercing gaze locking onto Sophie. "You're the waitress from last night," Olivia said, her voice calm yet firm. "You were kind to my daughter." Sophie blinked in surprise. "Oh!" "Yes, of course. Is she okay?" Olivia studied her for a moment before sliding a business card across the table. "Come to this address tomorrow morning. I have an offer for you." Sophie hesitated, glancing down at the card. "What kind of offer?" "Why her?" As Olivia stood up to leave, she gave Sophie one last look. "Don't be late." Sophie's heart pounded. She had no idea that saying yes would change everything. Sophie stared at the business card in her hands, her mind racing. Why would a rich woman like Olivia Reynolds want to meet me? She barely got by working at Maggie's diner, and now she was invited to a fancy office? It had to be a mistake. Still, curiosity won. The next morning, Sophie took a deep breath and walked into the towering glass skyscraper, her sneakers squeaking on the polished floor. A receptionist led her to a private office, where Olivia sat behind a massive desk. "I'm sure you're wondering why you're here," Olivia said, folding her hands. Sophie nodded nervously. "Yes, ma'am. I don't understand." Olivia leaned forward. "You helped my daughter without expecting anything in return. That kind of kindness is rare. I need people like you." Sophie's heart pounded. "For what?" "A job," Olivia said, sliding a thick envelope across the desk. "A real one. No interview. No experience needed. Just one promise." Sophie hesitated, her fingers trembling as she picked it up. "What's the promise?" Olivia smiled. "Never stop being kind." Sophie swallowed hard. This wasn't just a job, it was a test, and she had no idea what she was walking into. Jason's hands tightened around the old yellowed envelope. His heart pounded as he read the name on it, Eleanor Carter, his grandmother. But why was it hidden behind a loose brick in the attic? With shaking fingers, he tore it open. Inside was a letter, its ink slightly faded but still readable. He sat down, his breath caught in his throat as he began reading. "If you're reading this, it means the truth is finally out. I never meant to keep secrets, but I had no choice. In 1958, I made a decision that changed everything." Jason's pulse quickened. What decision? His grandmother had always been a quiet, kind woman. What could she have done? "I left behind something valuable, something people would do anything to get their hands on. I hid it where no one would think to look. If you're my blood, you'll understand what to do." Jason's mind raced. Left behind? Hidden? His grandmother had passed away years ago. Why had no one ever found this letter before? Then, at the bottom of the page, A small key was taped to the paper. His hands trembled as he peeled it off. A key. But to what? Jason knew one thing, whatever his grandmother had hidden. And he was going to find it. Samantha's fingers trembled as she unlocked the old wooden chest. The key, found in her grandmother's hidden letter, fit perfectly. With a deep breath, she lifted the lid. Inside, wrapped carefully in faded cloth, was a stack of old photographs and a small, leather-bound journal. Samantha picked up the journal, her heartbeat racing. The name on the cover made her gasp, Margaret Lane. Her great-grandmother. She flipped to the first page. The handwriting was elegant but hurried, as if written in a rush. If you're reading this, it means the time has come to know the truth. I never spoke of my past because I feared what might happen. But secrets have a way of surfacing. Samantha swallowed hard. What was she hiding? She turned the page, eyes scanning every word. I once possessed something that could change everything, something powerful, dangerous. I had no choice but to hide it. If you are my family, you must protect it at all costs. Samantha's breath hitched. Powerful? Dangerous. Beneath the journal, she noticed a small velvet pouch. She opened it carefully and gasped. A strange, antique locket lay inside, its golden surface engraved with symbols she didn't recognize. Her mind spun. Why had her great-grandmother hidden this? And what did she mean by dangerous? One thing was certain, Samantha had just uncovered a mystery that would change everything. Jason stood frozen in the dimly lit attic, his heart pounding. The old wooden floor creaked beneath him as he lifted the tattered envelope he had just discovered. His grandfather's name was scrawled across it in shaky handwriting. Taking a deep breath, he tore it open. A yellowed letter slid into his hands. If you're reading this, then you found what I tried to keep hidden. The truth has been buried for too long. Jason's fingers tightened around the paper. What truth? The letter continued. Decades ago, I made a choice, one that changed everything. I had something valuable, something people were willing to hurt others for. So, I hid it. But I knew one day, someone in our family would uncover the past. If you found this letter, it means you're the one meant to know. Jason's breath hitched. Something valuable? He glanced at the wooden chest beside him, suddenly aware of its presence. His hands shook as he reached for the lock. The key from the envelope fit perfectly. With a click, the lid creaked open, revealing a small velvet pouch. He opened it, and his eyes widened. Inside was a shimmering gold pendant, unlike anything he had ever seen. What had his grandfather been hiding? And why was it so dangerous? Jason knew one thing: his life had just changed forever. As Liam flipped through the dusty pages of the old journal, his hands trembled. He had stumbled upon it in his grandmother's attic, hidden beneath a loose floorboard. The leather cover was cracked, and the pages were yellowed with time. The first entry made his breath catch. June 12, 1972. If anything happens to me, this journal holds the truth. They think I don't know, but I do. I saw what they did. And I have proof. Liam's pulse quickened. Who was they? And proof of what? He turned the page, eager to read more. I buried it where no one would think to look. The oak tree behind the house, near the stone marker. It's safe for now. Liam's eyes darted to the attic window, where the giant oak tree still stood in the backyard. His heart pounded as he realized what this meant. He shoved the journal into his backpack and bolted down the stairs. He had to see for himself. Minutes later, he was digging beside the old tree. His fingers struck something solid. He cleared away the dirt and pulled out a rusted tin box. With shaky hands, he pried it open. Inside, wrapped in cloth, was an object that could change everything. Liam swallowed hard. He had uncovered a secret that was never meant to be found.